Welcome to the second floor of the Cheney Homestead. The room you are now standing in is called the parlor. It was the formal room of the house, where the Cheney family would greet guests that were either business associates or acquaintances, as opposed to the downstairs keeping room entrance, which was for close family and friends. Many a social event at the homestead involved this room over the years, as it was often the receiving area for such occasions as wedding receptions and wakes. Family lore holds that the daybed to the left of you was used for laying out bodies during wakes. On the daybed are samples of actual Cheney silk that was produced at the Cheney mills. The view out of the exit door behind you looks very different than it would have had you stood here in the late 19th century. A sweeping double driveway would have run by the house in that direction. In the distance, in the large grassy and tree-filled area you see now, there once stood the opulent Anne Cheney Mansion, also known as the Rush Cheney Mansion. It existed from 1847 to 1951. It was one of the largest Cheney houses on Harford Road and was extravagantly decorated inside with fine architectural details both inside and out. For a time it was used as an annex to the Manchester Memorial Hospital, but unfortunately it was torn down when the Cheneys fell on challenging times financially and were unable to maintain the house. Interestingly, a portion of the tunnel that ran from the basement of that house to the back of the property in the direction of the highway still likely exists under the ground, though it has yet to be excavated. This is the only abandoned tunnel known to exist in the area of the mansions. Regardless of persistent rumors and legends, there are no known tunnels that currently connect the various Cheney properties. In this room, to the right of the wood stove, we see another of Timothy Cheney's clocks. This one is different than the clock downstairs. If you look closely at the clock face, you'll notice that it says East Hartford. This is because this clock was created by Timothy at a later period than the downstairs clock, when this town was still part of East Hartford. It is interesting to note that the top of the clock has been shortened, indicating that it was once located in another, taller space. When you reached the top of the stairs, you probably noticed the bedroom to your right, which is opposite the doorway to this room. This is the southeast bedroom. This room likely belonged to a number of family members through the centuries, as generations passed through the house. One thing we know for sure is that it was the coldest room in the house, as it has no source of heat. Family stories tell of the room getting so cold that at times the water pitcher would be frozen when they woke up in the morning. Near the bed, you'll notice a bed warmer, which would come in quite handy in such a chilly room. A curious feature in this room is the built-in closet, which was a rare thing to find in a house built during the 18th century. It is a testament to Timothy Cheney's clever craftsmanship. When you go into this bedroom, take a close look out the window. You'll see this view. If you were here in the late 1800s, it would look very different. You would have seen a meadow extending down into where the highway now stands and beyond. Back now to the parlor. We'll now move beyond this room through the doorway just to the right of the clock. This is the northwest bedroom. When the homestead was donated to the Historical Society in the late 1960s, this room had been converted to a bathroom. It was converted back to its likely original use as a bedroom when the museum was being formed. An interesting painting is hung on the south wall of this room. Though the artist is unknown, it has a curious feature. When the painting is flipped over, we see that it has a matching female figure on the side facing the wall. Who was this woman? And why was she not fit to grace the front of this painting? We may never know, but the painting carries on as a conversation piece nonetheless. Now to the last room to your right. It is called the children's parlor, and is also known as the nursery. This was the last room added onto the house. When the Cheney family built this room, it was likely an office or a bedroom. It is being presented here to represent what a Cheney child's room may have looked like during the Victorian period. The toys you see here all belong to Cheney children from various generations. The crib contains the children's dolls with clothing that was actually made in the Cheney mills to match clothing that the children wore. The dollhouse is from about 1910, and contains all of the original miniature furniture from that time period. On the wall of the children's parlor, you'll also notice a quilt from 1852 that was donated by Horace Learned, a member of the Cheney family. Be sure to read the sign to the right of it to learn more about it. Now, feel free to peruse the rooms on this level and notice the details that we've mentioned. When you're done, you may exit by way of the door behind you. If you've missed the downstairs portion, feel free to exit out the door here and re-enter the bottom floor to join the next group. Thank you for taking the time to visit the Cheney Homestead, and be sure to stop by the other Manchester Historical Society properties, including the Manchester Museum on 126 Cedar Street and the Manchester History Center at 175 Pine Street. Once again, thank you for visiting, and have a wonderful rest of your day.